When he was 12 years old at boarding school in Switzerland, Patrick Getreide would walk past a local watch store, dreaming of one of the expensive Omega timepieces in the window. One day in 1966, he offered to pay the owner 10 francs per week, about $2 at the time, from the pocket money his parents sent him. The owner agreed, but months later, Getreide called his father and begged him to buy the watch for him. His father, who owned a tannery outside Toulouse, France, agreed. That first 400 Swiss francs Omega, about $1,400 today, began a collection that now contains some 600 timepieces and is valued by Christie's at more than $300 million. A few years after that first purchase, Getreide left school because his father was too sick to run his business. "I was young and made mistakes," he says. But he made it work and was later able to sell the company. Several years later, at around 21, he 39,000 won francs, about $6,400 today, on a horse race and bought his first, nice, timepiece. It was a Cartier tank, which I still have. Cartier was heaven. The most chic people in the world had a Cartier, Getreide says from his private watch museum in Geneva. That's where he keeps the majority of his collection, including 7 pocket watches once owned by the renowned 20th-century collector Henry Graves. To support his watch habit, Getreide eventually had a string of businesses after selling his father's tannery in 1990. He built a cab company in Paris with his cousin, growing the fleet from 30 to 1,200 vehicles over 16 years. After selling the taxi firm in 1996 for €100 million, about $200 million today, he started flipping several businesses, including a real estate company and a chain of 80 retail clothing stores. Today, Getreide and his son Roland, along with CEO Daniel Bloor, own a lithium refinery called La Vista in Germany. But business is not how people know Getreide best. It's for his oak collection of rare timepieces. In 2022, the watch world got to see some of the oak, an acronym for one of a kind collection up close when Getreide staged a world tour of 168 pieces, beginning with an exhibition at the Design Museum in London. Now, after 5 decades acquiring vintage wristwatches, antique pocket watches and rare clocks, the 69-year-old Getreide is ready to part with some of his treasures, starting with some 140 pieces from the oak collection that go up for auction at Christie's in Hong Kong on November 26. "I'm aware that many people would love to have my collection. When you're collecting," he says, "the most difficult part is to buy it. When you own it, it's fantastic, but it's not my primary concern anymore." He employs a watchmaker to keep his collection running and properly serviced. "They are not furniture," he says. "They are living pieces, and if they don't work, what's the use?" And the watch world is ready.